Hello and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee and I'm so glad that you are joining us. Well, this is a very, very special day. We're beginning or kicking off a 6-part series, and it is entitled The Life of the Spiritual Pioneer. We will explore together the very nature of what it is to be a spiritual pioneer. First thing I want you to know, a spiritual pioneer is in tune with the evolutionary impulse of the divine, of the universe. The spiritual pioneer sees the divine in everything that goes on, including chaos. A spiritual pioneer is one who is anchored in the unshakable foundation of wholeness. A spiritual pioneer is living in the expectancy of miracles. Well, that's who you are, and that's what we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. But for right now, as we get ready for this particular talk, it is the life of the spiritual pioneer, and this week is a passion for the edge. So as we begin this talk today, I just want you to know that in the beginning, we've got a special reading by Don, and he's going to be talking about adventurous, and that's one of the qualities of a spiritual pioneer. Michelle will be singing, I Came Here to Be. I will be doing the lesson, and then Lisa will be bringing it into an intimate experience of what it is to be a pioneer. So thank you for being with us. Open up your hearts, and let's experience being a spiritual pioneer.
Hello, my name is Donald Fouts, and I am honored to give you this special reading. A reading that is what I hope is my life. The thought for today is adventurous. The affirmation, I live my life as a continuous adventure. In the past, I may have felt afraid to try new things. I may have felt intimidated about looking foolish or feeling frustrated about not doing something well. Today, however, I take a new approach, and I try seeing things as an adventure. Life is meant to be lived fully, even if it means taking some risk. With an adventurous spirit, I open my mind to the possibilities around me. I step out of my self-imposed boundaries and welcome new experiences. Perhaps I will join a club, or take a class, or learn to play a musical instrument. Either way, I will follow my heart. More than that, I am welcoming a change in attitude within myself. I see myself deserving of growth, fun, and a full life of color and energy. With courage and fortitude, I declare, I love to try new things. Say that to yourself now. I love to try new things. I am adventurous. And from this scripture, Isaiah 42:9, it says, See, the former things have come to pass, and new things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Again, it is my honor. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Don. I love the thought of being adventurous. It's the perfect message for today. Who wouldn't want to go on an adventure? Well, good morning, friends. We hope you're all ready for a fabulous adventure today. In case no one else has, let me just tell you that we love you. We bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the Christ in each of you this morning. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. This program's a great opportunity to soothe your soul and elevate your divine nature. Hit those subscribe and notification buttons below and share us with your families and friends. And lastly, join us in our after-service fellowship community Zoom room at the top of the hour. It's easy to register, no expectations, just a spot for everyone to talk about the service or the message or the music or your week. It's a safe space for you to hang out and catch up with your Unity of Las Vegas friends. And now, Michelle Roll has the perfect song for Reverend Jim's message of adventure and Lisa's meditation today. We hope you enjoy I Came Here to Be.
I
Thank you, Michelle. Yes, you and I have come here to be victorious, playful, radiant. I'm going to include adventurous and a spiritual pioneer. So let's take a look at this. First of all, this word called pioneer. Overall, I think a loose definition may be is a pioneer is someone who goes ahead and clears a path for others to follow it. This is a pioneer has this adventurous spirit, and it is full of openness and awareness and a free thinker. And when I think of a pioneer, especially in America, I think of a person like Daniel Boone, who was one of the first folk heroes, and he was famous for the exploration going out west. And Davy Crockett, yeah, he is referred to as the king of the wild frontier. So that's what I think about initially when I think of a pioneer, and I'm not like any of those people. But also I want to think about, well, what is a spiritual pioneer? And this is one who blazes a trail as also, but this time and really goes where other people haven't gone before. And just want you to know, but this is a spiritual domain. A spiritual pioneer, I'm thinking of somebody like Jesus Christ, of course, Muhammad, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and the Buddha. All of these are like spiritual pioneers. And they've led the way to a wonderful place. And before I would just say, well, I'm not like any of those. I'm not like a spiritual pioneer, and I don't know if I'm that. Well, I want you to know that you and I are already spiritual pioneers, even if you don't know it. Now, before I became a minister, I had this message come to me, this thought, this divine idea to be a minister, and I had lots of reservations. First of all, who am I to do this? Next thing I thought, oh, Jim, you have issues. And I realized that the issues that I have, they were with me. And I said, I gotta work through these issues here. I can't become a minister myself. And I compared myself to others like Martin Luther King and all kind of other people. And I just say, I don't know if I can be a spiritual pioneer. Well, I went to my minister, and who was Reverend Lafayette Seymour, and said, I don't know if I've got it within me. And he says, no, you're already it. And I said, but no, do you understand? I'm not perfect. And he says, okay, take a look at this. I'm going to throw out some names for you in the Bible. First of all, Adam. Adam was not perfect. He ate the apple, remember? I said, yeah, that's right, he wasn't perfect. Then there is Noah. Noah wasn't perfect. As soon as Noah got off that ark, he got drunk. He wasn't perfect. Moses. Moses wasn't perfect. Moses was a murderer, and then he ran away. The New Testament, Peter. Peter wasn't perfect. He lied. And then Paul. Paul was not perfect. He was going around persecuting the Jews, the Hebrews. So the major characters in the Bible weren't perfect. So he looked at me and said, take a look at that. This is not requiring you to be perfect. What is inviting you to be is something else, but perfect is not it. I thought for a moment, and then I just felt embraced by this way of being. And when I shifted from the egoic thought of I'm not perfect and I can't do this. It opened the space for something else to come through. And that was my original commitment, that original message, to be of value and to be of service. That is important for us to realize, that who we are as spiritual pioneers, and you don't have to be perfect. So move that out of the way. And then I threw up a couple of things. Well, Martin Luther King, he was perfect. Nope, he wasn't. And when I've done some research, as potent and powerful as Gandhi was, he wasn't perfect either. So I'm inviting us now to just be open for just a moment to realize you are a spiritual pioneer and you do not need to be perfect. So repeat after me. I am a spiritual adventurer. I am a magnificent being. Feel that. Enjoy that. You are a pioneer right now. And as a spiritual pioneer, I'm inviting us to stay open. Stay open to what? There is a direct knowing of the presence of this universal essence that allows us to be this spiritual pioneer. And all we need to do is to be willing to live in a loving energy and be guided by this loving presence. Today, we need spiritual pioneers to usher in this new paradigm that is right on the edge of coming into existence. Now, one of the things that I did when I was looking to become a minister, I saw myself surrendering to this loving energy. And there's something about that that can lift us up and gives us more potency and power than we ever can imagine. The world needs you just the way that you are, right here and right now, to be the spiritual pioneer. So, affirmation time. Just say, I am one with the one. That's beautiful. A spiritual pioneer, I just want you to know, does not need to lead marches or to run churches or to do great things. That's not what I'm talking about here. Mother Teresa says, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. That's really important. Spiritual pioneer. I just want you to know you probably have been more of a spiritual pioneer than you realize. Years ago, one of my earlier jobs, I was a restaurant manager. And I had an employee that stole $100 from me. And I caught him and questioned him about it. He said, he was 16 at the time. He says, I needed a pair of shoes. I wanted the new Nikes and they cost $100. I said, really? Well, you're fired. Of course, I had to fire him. But then he said, please forgive me. Give me another chance. I know that was wrong. And I thought about it and I looked at him and there was a part of me that said, you can't trust him. But there's another part of him that said, hey, love this guy. Give him a chance. And sure enough, he worked okay. He did a great job and I had no more problem out of him. That was a good thing, but it's not the end of the story. 10 years later, I'm at the DMV in Washington, D.C., and it was packed. So I pulled the number and I asked the person how long it's going to be. It says, well, it's going to be at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I sat down in the chair, just disgusted that it was going to take that long, when a person came up to me and he says, Jim Lee. And I looked up and it was Daryl. It was the guy that stole the money. And here he was, a security guard at the DMV. And I said, wow, this is so great to see you again. He said, I just want you to know that you really changed my life. And I said, well, all I did was just hire you back. He said, no, that was huge. I did not have anybody that trusted or believed in me before. After that, I really turned my life around. And what I did is I started working and said, not only am I a security guard here, but I have 10 people under me that are security guards. And I just happened to be here today because one of them couldn't show up. And so now I am here, and it's so good because I've thought about you often, and I wanted to thank you because you're an angel to me. And I said, I really had no idea, but I appreciate that. And he says, oh, and it's not over. Give me your ticket. So he tore up my ticket. He says, you go to the head of the line. Come here with me. Glory, hallelujah. That was a wonderful day. I don't know if you've spent a lot of time at the DMV, but sometimes that can be so aggravating. Now, I didn't do this for a particular person, or for a particular person or a particular reason. I was just being in a loving space. That's what it is to be a spiritual pioneer, because the world needs that. And as we open that up, we're changing the whole dynamics. We are forging a way to something new. We're creating new pathways for other people to experience the divine as we bring it forth within us. You have been a spiritual pioneer. You are one now, and now I'm aligning us with the potency of it so that we can take it to a next level. Now, I worked with Marianne Williamson for a few years, and she created a daily prayer, and it was based off the Course in Miracles, and it was this: wherever you have me go, what would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? So no matter what it is, they'll start off, and I still do this today, I start off the day like, okay, Infinite Spirit, where do you want me to go? What are you going to have me do? And when I get there, what do you want me to say? So we are in line now with a flow of the divine through this being this spiritual pioneer that blesses us, but also blesses others. Time to raise the vibration. Now, a spiritual pioneer does not have to be totally healed, totally well, in order to be this spiritual pioneer. Because as we work on ourselves, the universe supports us, and as we're going through life itself, life will bring to us the skills and the abilities to do the healing work that is needed so that we can progress on. So we don't have to worry about being perfect, don't have to worry about being healed, just to be willing to have the universe guide us to what's next and to heal us. You are perfect today, just the way you are. And as we do this, I just want us to know that now is the time to move. Lord knows, more than ever, to get in this space, what I would call the light within us. And you may say, well, I don't feel this, or I don't see this light that I don't see being this spiritual pioneer, you don't have to see it. It's already within you. You don't even have to strive for it or remember a whole lot of steps. Like I love Tai Chi, but there's lots of steps and movements that you need to do in order to follow the process of Tai Chi. The spiritual pioneer is not it. What you need is already within you. The energy of the light of the divine is here right now. We're on this spiritual adventure. I just want us to relax with this last point, and that is to be a spiritual pioneer, you need to be you. You need to be you. You have what it takes, and you are fully loaded and coded with the unique expression of the divine in you. So what I'm inviting you to do is do you. Do the authentic you. Not the egocentric one, but the one that is aligned with the divine, that's full of love. And if you make a mistake, you are going to love you, dust yourself off, and lift yourself up and be the spiritual pioneer that you really are. This is who you've come here to be. Now, as you do this, some people may look at you as being a little bit weird and would say, oh, here comes little Miss Positive. Who does she think she is? Or someone would say, oh, here he is. Yeah, I know all things work together for good. Don't worry about what people say about you. In this space, as a pioneer, you're on the leading edge. There's not a lot of people out there, but what you're doing is leading the way. Set the example. Be in touch with that. At my previous church, I had one of my first churches, was go all the way back to Brooklyn. There was I would say, some contention that was going on, and it was with me. The main thing that I was taking a look at, I wanted to get a raise. I was in New York, and I was making $30,000, and that wasn't quite enough, and I had doubled the size of the church. And so people said, nah, ministers don't need a raise, and you work for God, which is true, work for God, but still got bills to pay. I got so upset that I couldn't understand how people could be that way. And I spoke to my minister counselor about this, and he says, this isn't about them. This is about you. They are calling forth your light to love, bless, and to heal them. You're pointing it in the wrong direction. So if anything that is going on that you don't like, just want you to know it is calling you to be the spiritual pioneer that you are. Now, as we go into this series, hold on that you're a spiritual pioneer. But in order to get there, I just want you to know we will also be talking about the 5 M's. And the first M that we're going to be talking about is this message. Before you become a messenger of this message of being the pioneer, recognize that in this consciousness, there is a 4th dimensional reality that's full of ideas of which a spiritual pioneer connects with. And then they're able to bring this into the 3rd dimensional reality. It's full of love, full of joy, full of peace, full of, I would say, abundance for everybody. And that's what's needed to happen today. So we're waiting for someone else when we are the ones that's being called to be this spiritual pioneer. And the reason why I guess I'm doing this talk today is we're ready. The planet's ready. And Lisa now is going to take us into a special place where we can take a look at this message that is in this fourth dimension that we can tap into and be the spiritual pioneer that we were designed to be. Get ready. Open up your minds. Open up your hearts.
I am currently in a book study reading the book The Eye of the Heart by Cynthia Bourgeault, who is an absolutely amazing Christian mystic. And as I often am, I became mesmerized by something that she said when I was reading yesterday. There is an old piece of Hasidic folklore that claims that our world, at any point in time, is held in its planetary orbit by 36 conscious human beings. They don't know each other, and they don't even know if they're among the 36. But the quality of their work, rising like incense into the Earth's atmosphere, creates around our fragile planet a sturdy bandwidth of protection, blessing, and guidance. The beautiful images in this folklore speak directly to the heart of all of us on a conscious spiritual path. And when I read these words for the first time, I experienced a deep yearning to live as one of those 36. I just thought, how can I become one of them? And it reminded me of the Rudolf Steiner course I took on human evolution many years ago, where I first heard that at the end of every era, there has always been a small group of beings who came together to hold space for what's next for the species. And I felt a calling there too, to be in that group of beings that are here in these times. Inside of this calling, there is an inner recognition of oneself as a spiritual pioneer, holding space for that which is to come. And there is also a direct knowing that who we are is perfect for the times in which we live. And there's a recognition of this calling originating from love itself. And just as the sheep knows its shepherd's voice, the spiritual pioneer hears and recognizes the voice of love and is able to receive its deep heart message. This is an evolutionary love which is existing across time, past, present, and future, alive and moving, generative and fully resourced to fill us with everything that we need for our incredible earth journey. Now, one of the most inspiring parts of this is that inside of this love, the future is here right now, informing us in this very moment with all the wisdom and insights we need to overcome and move through this very challenging time on earth. And in this, there are no great and small acts. Everything counts and is indispensable to the whole. Teilhard de Chardin speaks of this beautifully in his quote, "Do not forget that the value of life is not so much in doing conspicuous things as in doing ordinary things with the perception of their enormous value." And recognizing oneself as a spiritual pioneer and living as one has enormous value. Everything that is consciously aligned with the evolutionary impulse counts in this very powerful way. The focus of today's meditation is on this message of love and the nature of the voice of the evolutionary impulse to which we are attuning. So I invite you now to find a very comfortable way of sitting and begin to focus on your breath and taking gentle breaths in and out And become aware of the potency of this breath in all parts of your being. And just imagine this breath coming into all of your cells, all the little cavernous parts of your physical being, filled with this breath of life. And feel it coming into what we call your subtle body, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And sense it in your spirit, in your essential self. And as you're breathing into all parts of yourself, just feel how each is regulating the next, and how the physical body is breathing into the subtle body, into your spiritual self, and vice versa. And now become aware of yourself, both inside and outside of time. And connecting with yourself here in linear time, but also beyond this time. And sensing into your essence in the past, in the present, and in the future. And sense this essence of who you are alive in the essence of your ancestors, your human ancestors, and also your plant ancestors, your geological ancestors, sensing into the rich heritage of which you are a part and of which is your very essence. And sense this essence of your past self reaching out and connecting with you in the present. And feel this flow forward of all the gifts of the past, present with you, here and now. All the support, all the grounding, all the wisdom, back through the ages. And now sense into this essential you, alive in your descendants in the future. Sense this essential you in your human descendants, in the plant descendants, and into the geology of the earth. And sense into the fruits of how you and all of humanity have shown your light through the ages. Sense the gift of your living uniqueness to the future. And sense into the wisdom and insights available to you now, flowing into you now. Isaiah 42:9 says, "New things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." So sense into this generosity of flow of these insights, showing you how to live in the present in such a way that honors this living connection with all of your descendants and also brings healing to the present. Sense into the essence of your future self now, reaching back to connect with you in the present. Sense the fullness of yourself across time, past, present, and future. Alive with the evolutionary impulse, the foundational quality of the past, and the available wisdom of the future, pressing in and ever available to you. Breathe into this largeness of self that you are, and the abundance surrounding and enfolding you as you, equipped with the power and the potency to bring the living force of the evolutionary impulse into the third dimension. Together we are a singularity that hears the music of the cosmos, allured by the edges of creation. We sing the living universe into being. And this is the way it really is.
Thank you, Lisa. I love the meditation. It's something about hearing the message of the evolutionary impulse so that we can be the spiritual pioneers that we came here to be. That's what this is all about. Well, thank you for joining us today. Just want you to know, you can always join us for a very special time, fellowship time after church, 11 o'clock Pacific time every Sunday. Love to have you. Great conversation. And it's time for us to become a community in that space. Number 2, if you are standing in the need of prayer, you can call Silent Unity. They are there 24 hours, 7 days a week. Someone can support you in your prayer needs. Please include them in your spiritual plan. And just thank you for all of your gifts and tithes and offerings. And you can donate by going on our website and connecting with us there, also by telephone and texting. All of that is so good to be able to, I would say, carry this message on as we go and grow to the next level. So in a conclusion, we're going out with our wonderful prayer for protection, and it comes up on the screen. I just want you to say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. Yes, we are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And remember, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you.